Okay, hello guys. Welcome back to STVCastle Chess, and once again we're going to be showing off the Polish opening, which is B4, the first move of White. My name is Stephen Bitt, and I play chess on grand occasion. Play chess a lot, and as you will see here, this is just another demonstration of using the Polish opening to your advantage. Once again, the Polish opening is not really uh, all that praise when it comes to good openings in the game of chess, but if you know how to use it, you can use it very effectively. So in this game, which I played recently against this guy whose username is alexpilot, uh, very interesting game. So let's just get right to it. So b4, b5, bishop b2, e6, a3, f6, g3, bishop d6, bishop g2. Now, sometimes this is how I handle it when it comes to the Polish opening. I get both my bishops to the corners here, the fee and kettle them both. So, yeah, this is not unusual for me to do. Next move for black, knight to e7. He wants the castle, and I notice that a lot in my games against uh, my opponents where they just want a castle very early. Uh, they don't have that much response other than to just really castle as quickly as possible when they see the Polish opening. Knight to f3, castle, castle, e5, d3, d4. Now, Alex Pilot, he wants to occupy the center of the board. Can't blame him. It's not a bad strategy. My next move is knight b to d2. I want to get my other knight out there. One thing that I could caution you guys about when it comes to playing the Polish opening is that more often than not, uh, the knight on the queen side gets ignored when it comes to the Polish opening. The knight just gets stuck here on b1. Make sure that does not happen. That's just one little tip I can give you guys. If you're going to play the Polish opening and get all this out here, make sure you have a plan for the queenside knight. Knight b to d2. Bishop e6, c4, d takes c3 via en passant. I take back, bishop takes pawn c3, c6, knight e4, knight f5, g4. And that's another thing I like to do in games in general when I'm faced with a pawn versus knight situation. I've noticed this a lot. Knights really don't like to be pushed around by pawns. That is a general tactic that you guys should apply in your games. Keep in mind that knights just don't like to be pushed around by knights just don't like to be pushed around by pawns. Excuse me. Knight to h6, g5. I go ahead and keep putting the pressure on. And if I could take a step back, guys, this is why I'm titling this Position plus Pressure equals Powerful Attack. Now, the combination of these pieces here, the two knights positioned as they are, and this pawn right here on g5, knowing that the pawn is trying to go after the knight still, and obviously colliding with this other pawn here, you have a good combination of pieces on the attack. Knight goes back to f5. Queen to d2. Bishop to e7. The bishop is anticipating a trade-off here. Queen, bishop, pawn, trying to get something going along these lines. h4. I notice that, and I keep the pressure on that way. Knight d4. He's trying to attack this knight right here. That's circled. I go ahead and get rid of that knight. Bishop takes knight d4. Pawn takes bishop on d4. Next move, king to h1. Get my king out of danger because I'm attempting to free up the rooks. And that's what you have to do when you're trying to attack your enemy's king. Sometimes your own king gets in the way, and you have to make this kind of move, even though at times you may not want to. There's another tip. If you have to get your king out of the way, even if you don't want to, you have to do it. If that means you free up your rooks, for example, you have to do it. Bishop to g4. Again, attacking this knight. Knight goes back, h2. Knight to h2. Bishop goes back, h5. f4. I might as well move this other pawn. I continue to give these pawns strength by complementing each other. Knight to d7. Finally moves his knight out there. Bishop to h3. f5. Now this pawn is attacking this knight. This knight goes back to g3. It's a double attack, as you can tell. g6, giving the bishop some aid. Honestly, if I can be honest here about this move, I think alexpilot should have retreated his bishop. He should have moved his bishop back somewhere. But as it is, g6, I go ahead and take the bishop. Knight takes bishop h5. G pawn takes knight h5. e4. F takes e4. D takes e4. You notice this pawn chain here. This is part of what I'm talking about when it comes to pressure. And I'm also talking about position because the positioning is getting ever so closer to the enemy's king. We're only talking about a few spaces here between these pawns and the king. So the position is getting a little bit cramped ever so often. Knight to b6. I go ahead and do this. Bishop to e6 check. He did not account for that move. King goes to h8. Move another pawn up, f5. Queen to d6. Queen to g2. Now, here's the thing. I could have assigned my rooks over to here, which is what my initial plan was for moving the king a few moves ago. But noticing the pressure that alexpilot was trying to put on me when it comes to a move like that, the queen move he did earlier, queen to d6, I had to hurry up and accelerate my game plan by moving my own queen to g2. That was my thought process. Knight to d7, g6, keep moving the pawns. King to g7, knight to g3. So I reactivate the knight, which was hanging on the rim previously. And that's going to be beneficial, as you can tell, very soon here. h6, rook a to d1. Now, before I continue, guys, keep an eye on the center part of the board because it's going to come into play here in a few moves. All right. c5. Now he's trying to get something going with these two pawns, which I can clearly see. B takes c5. Now, here's the thing, and it's highlighted here thanks to leechess.org, but here's the thing that my opponent alexpilot just did not account for, and he should have. This was the one and only big blunder of the game. He could have taken with the knight, and let's just go through this alternate route if he did. If knight were to take the pawn on c5, would have been e5, queen c6, would have been something like this anyway. Knight takes pawn d4, queen takes queen, g2 check. King takes queen g2, bishop takes pawn on h4, bishop goes back a2, bishop e7, knight e6 check, trade of knights, rook a to d8. And as you can clearly see here, guys, it would be more of an even game for black if he simply were to take it with the knight. But that's not what alexpilot did, and he did not even take it with the queen. What he did was this. Queen to e5, that's a clear blunder because here comes the knight. Just a move ago, I said that I reactivated my knight. A few moves ago, I reactivated the knight, and for good reason, to occupy this square. Knight takes queen e5, and from there, it was pretty much downhill for my opponent because the game did not go on for that much longer. Knight takes knight, e5, rook takes pawn, d4, knight to g4, queen goes over to b2, trying to go for a discovered attack once you move the rook out of the way. Queen, excuse me, bishop to f6. I simply move the rook out of the way. Rook to d7 check, king to h8, and then the last move of the game was queen captures pawn b7. And no, this game did not end in a checkmate, but it ended in a black timeout. So alexpilot, he ran out of time. And that was another thing that led to this move. He was running very low on time. He had, like, according to this, 36 seconds left. So he didn't have much time to think about this move before he made it. So it's one of those things, and I've been there too, guys, where I've been in, like, definitely in a bit of a crunch when it comes to time, and I've made just a really foolish move. So I've been there. So yeah, the position here, it just would not have been all that great for alexpilot, and I think he would have resigned anyway in a couple moves, knowing this position. And so why do I title this position plus pressure equals powerful attack? Well, let's go back a little bit here. Slowly just go through this for you guys to follow along again. Now, let's stop right here, move 22. I had just moved my knight back to g3. And so at the moment, you guys don't quite see it. The formation of all these pieces, they're not all that there when it comes to coordination, when it comes to positioning. But here, g6, knight takes bishop h5, g takes knight h5. Now, once I move the pawn up here to e4, you can start seeing what's going to happen here. You're seeing a pawn chain, you're seeing a pawn storm, really, of pawns just slowly making their way towards the king. And when you have a rush like that, when you have like a river flowing of pawns going after the king, you have to capitalize on that. You just have to coordinate these pawns the way that they are here and get your other pieces going, which honestly, I'm fond of the fact that I moved my knight back to f3 on move 30 when I did, because that gave me the right of way to occupy this square on e5. That was the main purpose of why I did that. So again, it was time control. It was a timing issue here with alexpilot. Again, he had 36 seconds to go. Stuff like this happens. So otherwise, if you put this move aside, it was a well-played game by both players. I give alexpilot all the credit for giving me a good game. He certainly gave me a lot to think about. And yeah, so this is another example of how to use the Polish opening effectively. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this game. let me know what you let me know what you guys think about the intro I just made because I'm trying to spruce things up here for all of my series. So if you like this content, please give this a like, and I'll be back with more. Take care, guys. Bye.